Hello, and no, your eyes do not deceive you. Welcome back to the Le Havre Football Manager Say. Now, it's been a long time, but yeah, I can't remember why I dropped it in the first place. I might have been a bit busy at the time. I've started to notice, although it might be a bit too late to kind of bring it back now and resurface interest, I started to see there was a bit of interest in the earlier episodes. So just in case anyone wanted to see this continue and had subscribed off the back of that, I've decided to bring it back. We were doing very well with Le Havre anyway, so I'm certainly not kind of against the idea. And what better way to bring it back than a top of the table clash? First versus second, Le Havre versus Auxerre. Now, forgive me if I do make a few mistakes, as obviously it has been a while, so to remember exactly what was going on with this side and who was the best in the team or whatever, the best way to go about things, that might briefly escape my mind. So hopefully it doesn't happen too much as I decide to have a quick look at the team, see if there's any I can move around. Abdelli does seem to be back and he's recommended for 45 minutes, so I'll bring him on second half if it's still level. Walk or Neto there, but that is Abdelli at cam, so maybe not, maybe there's a cam we can bring on. Bonnet's on the bench, so yeah, we'll move it around like that, and this Bonnet can also play out on the right. Can, but not quite as well as Abdelli, so yeah, we'll make those kind of changes at half time if nothing's going on. But yeah, first game against Auxerre, first versus second. For this team, hopefully we can come back with a bang, basically. So it's nice to know that Football Manager decided to have me back, as it took till the end of the 37th minute to have a highlight. But we move it around the midfield now, Basquet and Lacau. And Lacau is very important for us, but no more important than Jamal Tiare up front. Lacau now brings it out on the right to Jabord. Also quite a decent little player. Still moving it around quite nice, but they do get their foot in there. But Miembo doesn't let it get any further. Abdelli now centrally looks out right, and Jabord gets in a good crossing position, pulls it back to Basquet. Really are working a bit of space, trying to find where the gap is to get a shot off. And there it is. Certainly had the power behind it, but absolutely no accuracy from Tiare, as we'll probably drift to half time here, which we do. So not the most exciting at first half's back. Obviously it's always going to be a tight one against Auxerre. Hopefully in the second half we can have a bit more happen than just one highlight. Early on we do have a corner. I didn't actually make the sub, I said I would. The keeper picks this one out. Hopefully we can try and win this header and it will come back to us, which we do. Miembo has it at the back now. Hopefully just get his pass off and not make any mistakes. Finds Cornette out there. Probably will come off in a minute. And the mid's moving it around again. Try and get out to Pite, but their fullback does read that. They try and get one through, but Ursoy's on it. It's straight back to them though. They try and play out defence and they head down the left. There's Bostock there. Former championship player. It's been a while since I've seen him. They head back down the left now. Skips past Jabord. There's a risky tackle to make, and they said he went in late. When you see that on the screen, you don't think it's a foul. So we're going to need our goalie to drag us out here, which he almost does, can't quite get there. And unfortunately for us, we are behind. I can't remember if we were actually unbeaten to this point. We may well have been, so what a way to come back it would be if we just come straight back with a loss. And our first loss at that. I do finally make the sub I said I'd make. Maybe come off with cautious now. We'll see what happens here first. This might just be a highlight just to play it out, but maybe come off cautious. There's no point really being cautious when you're 1-0 down in the second half. So free kick one there, but I don't imagine anything will happen from that. No. So yeah, we'll switch to balanced at least for now. Hopefully we can kick on. Thought about shouting at something then. Or how we haven't scored there, I don't know. Bonnet really does need to squeeze that in. Yeah, we'll give them another shout to try and perk them up. I don't know how much these do, but I like to believe they do more than perhaps they probably do. We're going to have to make another kind of, we'll switch to positive now into the last 15 minutes. Abdelli's looking tired, so we'll take him off. Zile's not the most exciting, but he's going to have to do. Yara playing a 6-point forward, it's not like him, we need better from him. Or we usually just get better from him, so we expect better from him. Heading into the last 10 now, it might be slipping away from us here. It's looking like I'll give him one more shout, but looking like that'll be that 5 minutes added on, there's definitely enough time to do something. it's looking like nothing will happen and nothing does happen. So a real shame to come back to a loss and not even score. Trying to make it an entertaining comeback, it seems. Cheers for that, Football Manager. Don't know, we're not happy because, well, yeah, generally. Not the performance was awful. I think we did edge them. On stats, we'll see in a second. Apparently we won't. And that is enough for us to slip off the top. So our goal difference is still majorly superior, but I believe that is our first loss. I'll check just to make sure. There you go. It's literally telling us here 15 games undefeated, does fall short. I mean, there's no kind of better team to lose it to than Orcs there, as they have now gone above us thanks to it. But yeah, not a nice way to come back. I'm heading to the second game of the episode here, and a couple of things I did want to show you first, if I can find them. Yeah, we did get 2 injuries come to us through training yesterday. Your board is a stinger. To lose him for basically a month, especially at that age, is not gonna. It's gonna hamper him effectively. I can see his stats coming down off the back of this, and we also lost Gorgolan, who I think is our better keeper, perhaps. Yeah, but he has been playing backseat to Fofana at the moment, and that will now definitely have to continue thanks to that injury. But also in there, as I said, Cornette only being 2 stars, and they did eventually sub him off last game. He actually been player of the month. Clearly before that, he had done very well, I guess, with 3 goals and 1 assist with 2 games played. He obviously didn't get any in the last game, we didn't even score. So, into the second game against Toulouse, obviously to me they sound like the bigger side. I know both teams, Auxerre and Toulouse, but I've always known Toulouse to be a bit better, but clearly times have changed for them. Meras is clearly someone I forgot I had. I remember he's a big brawler, all-star, so why I've been... Well, I must have just simply forgot. Obviously, that's what happens when you come back after, well, I think it's been over a month off the save. So, yeah, that is completely my bad. We'll have to go without a keeper on the bench. Of course, I can bring one up from the youth, but I think we'll be fine just for this short time. We're probably going to run the same side. Maybe take Abdelli out, as obviously he doesn't look the fittest. He's only suggested for 60 minutes. We're going to have to think about how to get everyone in. I guess it'll be Bonnet in at Cam. And I'll check if Vasquez is the best centre mid, because I remember Fontaine being okay. Clearly I might be making that up. Let me check what he's actually starred at. Okay, no, he's 3.5. He just prefers to play. Well, not the role I've got him in. Maybe Lecao can play here. And if you put Fontaine in there, maybe he likes that. Okay, yeah, that looks a bit better. I'd only recommend for 45 minutes. We'll see how he goes. Doesn't seem to be familiar with that role, Lecao, it seems. But, it's time to learn, mate. They're heading into the second game against Toulouse. It's our first game of December. We are back at home, so hopefully this one goes a lot better. Well, isn't that lovely? Just bring him back into the side after remembering I've got a potential lower leg injury. Sounds bad. We're going to have to hope it's weeks and not months, because that does sound like it could be awful. Bringing in our 2-star Koulibaly back in at left back. That's a real shame, a real kick in the teeth. We do hopefully have a highlight for us here. Got Koulibaly, the other Koulibaly out on the right. Changing it with Cornette. Does get Bonnet down the byline now. Those ones we're probably used to seeing Tiare score all the time, and we're going to need to get him back to scoring if we're going to have any chance holding our position high in the table. Hopefully we can pick up this loose ball, and we do. Hopefully Tiare can kind of make a run that Bonnet can find. No, so we're going to have to go right to Cornette. He's hopefully, I was hoping he'd get down and chuck one into the box, but he is fouled just as he enters the box. It'll be a penalty. Hopefully Fontaine can stick away. Yes, he does. Back in the goals. It's not kind of the goals you want to be scoring. I mean, penalties are fine, but you want to get those kind of system goals, the ones that come through the way you're playing. Like wing play, I think we're still playing. No, it's gegenpress now. I think we tried wing play for a bit. You want to be kind of high pressing, hyperactive, fast football and getting your goals from that, but you're never going to turn down a goal no matter how it comes. But yeah, nice to be back in the goals. And this one will probably drift to half time. It doesn't seem like one of us entertaining first half, so we do get a late corner. And there he is, Jamal Tiare, 20 of the season. I mean, it's stupid that he scored that many this early at the end of the day. We can't forget that. But yeah, it did look like he was starting to dry up a little bit, although it was only last game. But yeah, nice to see him back in the goals. I know he has always been a threat from corners, even from... It was a long time ago, but I remember the amount of headers he used to score for us, especially in and around the 6-yard box on corners. But yeah, 2-0 up at half time is a much better performance this time out. Have a throw in deep in their half. They lump it down the left. Mayembo does win that for us. Lunete picks up and starts to drive forward. He's tackled there, but Fontaine picks up the loose ball, tries to chuck it forward, but they intercept. They now look to come forward down their right-hand side. Briefly put a stop to, but they do still have the ball. Random through ball chucked through. I thought he might be getting on the end off, but he does drift through to Fofana. Hopefully for us to build an attack from our goalkeeper now. He decides to lump it forward. They've made a big mistake, and this is the chances that TRA loves, and he does dispatch. It's always those defensive mistakes, hopping onto loose balls and through balls, sprinting through on goal with his pace and putting the ball away. That's straight out of the TRA textbook, that one. Yeah, 3-0 up. This is more of what I used to remember seeing. This is Le Havre. This is the Le Havre style of play. Yeah, at least the one I've adopted anyway. God knows what they do in real life. I try and watch as much football as I can, but I have to admit I do not watch the French Second League. Late chance for them here, possibly. And it is. They do shave the crossbar. Reece Healy's come on, of all people. Didn't expect to see that name popping up. But yeah, late chance for them. They do just miss. Hopefully this one will drift for a very calm, very impressive 3-0 win. And Toulouse are a mid-table side. We should be winning, but when you have those kind of games played in front of you, you just need to basically make it look confident, make it look convincing. And 3-0 at home definitely is insane. 2 goals in the first half kind of made the second half easy for us. We did of course have that unfortunate injury to Meras, and hopefully that isn't too long. We'll look in a second. We see TRA back in the goals and keeping a clean sheet, and them having no shots on target. It's great stuff. We'll tell them it was a good win because it simply was. Yeah, we'll have a look when we can get out of this. But the Meras' injury is like, is that enough to take us back to top? It's not quite, as Auxerre do win. Again, I was going to say this time late, but their consolation with Cordoba was scored ridiculously late in the 90+5. But where are Châteauroux? They had to be struggling against them. I mean, they are away, but they're struggling. Of course, they were leading by 2 goals for most parts, but they weren't ever able to properly put away Châteauroux, so hopefully we can keep pace with them. And I mean, we don't even necessarily need to. If we finish second, that's good enough for me. But yeah, hopefully we can keep pace, make a kind of title challenge out of it, and come in with a trophy first season. As we see here, 2 to 4 weeks I think we'll have to take. That is not bad. I mean, when you read lower leg injury, I'm thinking bones, full-blown leg breaks. It's not really what you want to see pop up, but 2 to 4 weeks is kind of, or it means he will have to miss most of the Christmas period. I don't know if it's intense in France as it is in England, especially in the French second division, but if it is, then it'll be a shame to miss him for that. But 2 to 3 weeks is a lot better than I thought it might have been. So yeah, that was the return of the Le Havre save. Yeah, I won't just make this a one-time thing. I will hopefully try and bring it back properly. As you can see, the Christmas period is nowhere near as busy as England. I forget what most other European countries do, is they actually take a Christmas break, which we don't do everywhere. Obviously, countries do things different way. I understand why they do. But equally, us kind of British people love the Boxing Day games and New Year's Day games, so I can see why we keep it our way. Well, basically, it's not broken for us, so there's no need to fix it. I'm going to have a quick look now when I will return. Could show you a cup game, but obviously, they in our league? They are, but they do struggle. But this is the kind of early rounds of the cup. I know it says 8th round, but that's how it kind of works in France. They kind of whittle away all the basically stuff like in the FA Cup that would be called qualifying rounds, isn't it? Like basically an actual round in France. So yeah, the 8th round is still where it's definitely early on for second league sides, because as you can see, I've not played a game beforehand in the cup, so this is our first cup game. Hopefully I'll be able to return the toe that we've won that. Looking when I'll actually come back. Not quite sure what's best really. I don't want to leave it too long. I'll say Châteauroux and Nancy. It is 5-game gap, but hopefully by the time we play Nancy away, which is a tough game, they are 4th and it is away from home. As I said, we should have most of our transfer business done by then. So if there is any transfer business, of course, I don't know what our finances are looking like. It's not too much, and I don't know how much kind of is a usual transfer fee in the second French division. But yeah, we'll come back for those 2 games at the end of January. Hopefully we'll still be in a good spot by then. If of course you have seen the previous ones, you were one of the people who come to it after I essentially stopped for this over a month. hopefully you do see this and want to continue watching. I don't kind of blame you if I've missed out now. That is completely my bad, but I'm kind of, even though it's been a while, over a year, I'm still relatively new to this whole YouTube thing, so kind of getting used to when the views will come in is hard for me, essentially. And I know a lot of people kind of probably dropped off after they saw the first few episodes. I had no face cam. It was kind of not poor quality, but it just was the way it was. So yeah, if you have stuck around to this point, thank you, and hopefully I can continue this and the interest will be there. Although it's not really always about your interest. I definitely want you to be interested, and if you ever tell me that you're not, then I'm completely on board to kind of filter that in. But at the end of the day, I need to be doing these things because I want to be doing them, not just because of, oh, it's getting no views, I'll sack it off. That's not how it should be viewed from my eyes, essentially. So hopefully this is back for good. Said I'll see you for the games at the end of January. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like. If you didn't, let me know why in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.